Hello out there.
Joey, what are you doing in there?
I need you to do something.
It better be good.
Knock on the gate door.
Knock on the door? Why?
I'll explain later. Just do it.
A knock? Oh my, a visitor! Just a minute! Is my hair okay? It'll have to do. Hello?
You'll notice that through most of the commentary, I talk about actors and acting and the feedback I got from actors and how they might have changed something or blah blah blah, added lines, removed lines. I like to get feedback from actors because they generally have a better instinct for what sounds right for their particular character than I do. And this isn't a total dig on me and my writing ability. You ask any director or playwright, the actors are always making suggestions, and any good director, any good playwright will accept them, or at least take them seriously, and I always take them seriously. And one great example is this character. I originally wrote this character as this very kind of mousy, scared woman living, thinks she's like huddled up in her apartment, and originally I had Shen play her that way, and then at one point, she kind of stood straight in her chair and delivered a line, and had this aura of haughtiness, this snottiness come through. And I thought, you know what? That is absolutely perfect. Read it like that. And we redid all of her lines like that. And it worked out really well because we did her lines before we did Joey's lines. So we could have Joey reply to that haughtiness, and it worked really well. It really redefined the entire character just in the performance. So if you ever wonder whether voice acting makes a difference, here's a good example.
Hello, miss.
Hello? Can I help you?
I'm Joey Malone, miss.
Well, Mr. Malone, to what do I owe the pleasure?
What's your name?
Excuse me?
Your name?
My name is on the door. If you don't know who I am, then why are you here?
I'm a bit lost. Can you tell me where I am?
Sorry, I'm not sure what you mean. Are you looking for a specific apartment or...
Apartment? You mean we're inside a building?
Yes? Are you feeling all right, mister?
You're not in a building, lady. Take a look around.
I don't know what you're talking about. We're on the 3rd floor. Look, there's the elevator down the hall.
Ah, right. Yeah, I see it. Are you sure you're feeling all right? You're not in a building, lady.
What are you talking about?
We're on the ground. We're outside.
You, sir, need glasses. Look at the door. It says D, clear as day.
I have something to tell you.
Oh?
There's no delicate way to put this. You're dead.
Pardon me?
Dead and buried. You're a ghost haunting a wasteland.
You're unbalanced. Tell me what you want before I call the police.
I'd like to ask you some questions.
Look, I've had enough. I'm not going to stand here and indulge in idle chit-chat. Who are you?
I'm with the Census Bureau, and I have to ask you a couple of questions.
Where's your clipboard?
Excuse me?
I thought all census takers needed a clipboard.
Ah, no. Not anymore. Cutbacks.
You're not fooling me. You're one of them, aren't you?
One of them? Who is them?
I told you all before, I am not leaving. The only way you can drag me out of here is as a corpse. Goodbye.
Hey, kid. Knock on the gate again.
Another visitor. Oh, you again.
I'd like to ask you some questions.
Look, I've had enough. I'm not going to stand here and indulge in idle chit-chat. Who are you?
I was sent by your landlord.
Oh, you were?
Yep, he wanted me to ask you a few questions.
Well, for your information, I don't have a landlord. I own this apartment. You're not fooling me. You're one of them, aren't you?
One of them? Who is...
I told the only is as a goodbye.
Hey, kid.
My, I'm popular today. Oh, you again.
I'd like to ask you some...
Look, I'm not going to... Who are...
I'm with the gas company. I was sent to check your apartment for leaks.
Didn't you come this morning? Yes, you did. You found nothing and you charged me a fortune.
That must have been someone else.
You're not fooling me. You're one of them, aren't you?
One of them? Who is them?
I told you all before. The only is as a goodbye.
Did I leave the gas on?
Hey, kid.
Mom. Oh.
I'd like to ask...
Look, I'm not going... Who are you?
I live next door.
You do? Which room?
4E?
No, you don't. You're not fooling me. You're one of them, aren't you?
One of them? Who is them?
I told you all before, I am not leaving. The only way you can drag me out of here is as a corpse. Goodbye.
Did I leave the gas on?
That thing hasn't seen much use in a long time. Looks like a foreman's trailer.
I'd like to see them try.
The foreman's office, you kind of took that, you added a whole bunch of extra stuff to it.
More crap on the desk. That's my signature move. I threw in the vintage picture of Farrah Fawcett from that famous poster on the calendar there. You can hardly tell,
Yeah.
but it's probably the most pixelated she's ever been.
We'll get the diehard Farrah Fawcett fans to call in and be all excited.
Yeah, it's a little
we'll
something
get
for them. They don't get enough these days.
Get some calls from Farrah Fawcett's lawyers. Who knows?
Pretty funny. On the desk, there's some blueprints sitting there. They're actually the blueprints from the foreground of Nanobots, if I ever get around to finishing that game. I kind of flip them around, and you can hardly tell that there's a little robot on there, but he's there, and now you know.
I can see that spirit pacing back and forth out there. Just a fan. Just a bunch of drawers. Even if I wanted to stick my head inside, which I don't, it would be too dark to see anything. Cheap material. I want nothing to do with it. It says Seagram Realty. I guess they're the guys who own this construction outfit. I can't make heads or tails out of this thing. I can't touch it. The name under the picture is Farrah Fawcett. I wonder if she likes dead guys.
In playing this game, I just had a worrying thought, and I went on to Wikipedia and looked up Charlie's Angels, and I discovered that Charlie's Angels did not go on the air until 1976, which means that that picture of Farrah Fawcett probably was taken a little bit later. So, oops. I'll just say that that calendar can time travel and be done with it. It's one inconsistency I think I can live with.
Let's take a look-see. This letter was written only a few weeks ago. This lady is upset because she's been stiffed $5 a month. My guess is that she's not too happy with the foreman. Harriet Sherman. I have no idea who she is, but any lead is a good lead.
So, is it all taken care of?
Not yet, dear.
Slacker.
Hey, you got a minute?
What is it, Joey?
It's pretty quiet here.
Yeah, I don't like it. I feel so exposed with all those windows staring at me. Anyone could look down and see me talking to you.
So what? Worst that could happen is they think you're crazy.
Great.
Think you can get the door open?
I don't think so, Joey. You might have to do this one on your own.
A solo operation, huh?
Yeah. Think you can handle it?
Oh, I can handle it. Just you watch. Actually, I don't have anything else to say.
You? That's a first.
Alright, let's get on with it.
Yeah.
Nope, I can't leave unless she goes with me.
Hey, Joey.
What's the deal?
I don't think I can get through that door.
No, you're too solid. Just leave it to me, dear. Smoke a cigarette or something.
Don't mind if I do. Alright, enough chit-chat. Let's finish this.
Sounds good to me.
Alright, let's finish.
Sounds...
That's it for now.
Yeah, we'll talk more later.
Talk about the map.
Oh, the map, yes. Tell me, you spent a long time on that map.
Yep.
And you're still working on it,
Still
right?
working on it. Some more details to finish up. But yeah, I thought it'd be neat, instead of having the top-down view, to have it be kind of a city skyline and just label the different locations around New York. I know how much you like pointing out in the city where everything is, so I try to make it as accurate as possible based on your sketch you sent
You know
me.
me too well.
Yeah, hopefully I'll get this in the final version, but I wanted to have, like, moving clouds going in the background and maybe some boats going through the water, just because I think it'd be cute to sit there and watch the map and be like, oh, okay, I guess I can move on. Oh, but a sailboat just went by.
Someone kind of, one of the beta testers mentioned, like, wow, this is a really long night.
Yeah, no kidding.
Like, just, yeah, like, how long is this over? Only just over one night? Like, suspension of disbelief.
Lauren has a scooter that we never get to see, but...
Yeah, she actually has a jetpack that she just
she flies
straps
on Joey.
Yeah, she just walks outside, straps on this jetpack. You know, she's got all that cigarette fumes inside of her. Anyway. We should talk about the apartment, because that's the one, that was one of the first ones you did.
Alright.
Yeah. So, you told me you based a lot of that on your grandmother's place?
It's true, it hasn't changed much since the 70s, so it was perfect. Also, I called up my mom, and I'm like, tell me some things that happened in the 70s, or some horrible decorating choices people made. She's like, well, a lot of lime green, horrible macrame flower baskets, and, like, a certain kind of alcohol that they always use as candle holders. I forget what it was, but I looked at the picture, and that's sitting on the shelf there. The TV was based on my old TV from when I was a kid, because we always had foil on the end of it. I don't know, it's a subtle thing.
Rabbit ears?
Yeah, rabbit ears, because we didn't have cable. This is back in the old country, where I live now.
Back in the old country.
No, my family moved to the States, and I came back here. But anyway, that coffee table is also in my house right now. And the hideous orange pillow, my grandma has that couch, so...
I want to talk to you, Joey.
Yeah, doll?
Say cheese.
Having fun?
Hey, Joey.
What's the deal?
Care for a cigarette?
Oh, ha.
This is a little recording device. It's called a dictaphone. I've been using it to record my dreams. Testing. Hello? Does my voice really sound like that? Gotta cut back on the cigarettes. Anyway, I've been having some extreme dreams lately, but I don't remember any of them. I get the strangest feeling that they're important, but I can't put my finger on why. I'm keeping this recorder next to my pillow so I can record what I remember as soon as I wake up. First entry, February 21st? Is it? God, my head. I dreamed tonight. It's already fading away. I saw my mother. She was calling out to me and waving. She was smiling, and her face was bright. So bright. I see a child, 7 or 8 years old. She's surrounded by other children, but she's all alone. I call out to her, but she doesn't hear. Something is wrong. With me? With her? It's fading. I see a man in tattered clothes. He looks at me and screams. I look in a mirror and see a huge horned demon. For some reason, I'm not surprised. I'm on the Brooklyn Bridge staring at the seaport. I'm alone, strangely at peace. The water, they look so cool and inviting. Suddenly I'm in the water, floating. I dreamt I was in a strange room. The walls are a deep pink, and there are books and papers everywhere. Joey is behind me, trying to get my attention. I ignore him. I feel strangely good about it. I see Jack and Maria. They're far away, but I know it's them. I see his glasses and her bright red hair. I want to join them. I run to catch up. I almost get there, but I trip and fall. Maria turns to help me up, but it's not Maria. She's got red hair like Maria, but it's someone else. She says she's sorry. Then I wake up. I'm in a hospital room. There's a Chinese girl lying on the bed. I want to help her, but she doesn't want to be helped. Suddenly, I say a magic word, and her eyes widen with trust. I've made a friend, and yet I don't want her friendship. I run away. I'm on a fire escape. I'm talking with a man who wants to be my friend. Suddenly, his face turns blue. He can't breathe. He dies. It's my fault. I could have stopped it. I'm in a huge house. I see gas lamps and electric lights. I look into a mirror and see an old woman. She reaches out of the mirror to grab me. I take her hand and hold it tight. Then I wake up. I'm on a train, speeding away into the night. Next to me is a man. I know nothing about him, yet I trust him. I think I love him. Then he disappears. What did I do wrong? I'm trapped somewhere bright. I see my mother and a woman I don't recognize. I see Joey far away, calling out for me. We're fighting for our lives, but it's too late. The world goes dark. I hate that dream. There's no listing. They must be based out of town. Got her. There's a phone number but no address.
Hello?
Is this Harriet Sherman?
Who is this?
My name is Lauren Blackwell.
What do you want?
I could really use your help.
Help? Why should I help you? Why should I help anybody? Nobody's ever done me any favors. Goodbye. Don't call back. Hello?
It's me again.
You? I thought I told you not to call.
Yeah, I know. Please, just listen. I was hoping I could help you.
What? You selling something?
No,
I've told you 1,000,000 times. No. I don't need any insurance.
I'm not...
Gotta go. My stories are on. Don't call back.
No, wait.
Hello?
It's me again.
You? I thought I told you not to call.
Yeah, I know. Please, just listen. Could I ask you a couple of questions?
What is this? A survey?
No.
Well, no. You can't ask me a couple of questions. I'm busy.
Listen.
Goodbye. Don't call back. Hello?
It's me again.
You? I thought I told you not to call.
Yeah, I know. Please, just listen. I'm calling from Seagram Realty.
Oh. Why didn't you say? You've got my $60.
Yes, I do. But before I give it to you, I have to ask you a couple of questions.
Fine. Come on by and I'll answer whatever you want. 24 Rector, down in Battery Park City. Just buzz up.
So, Joey,
Yeah?
got any spare cash on you?
Sorry, left my wallet in my other pants. Probably the pair I was buried in.
Come on, let's get out of here.
Right behind you.
And you're still working on this background right now, the Harriet's Kitchen.
Oh yeah.
So I haven't actually seen this one yet.
Nope. Basically, it's based on my other grandma's kitchen, which is very pastel and full of old lady kitsch. Like, my grandma doesn't have a dog, but there's going to be a little dog in a basket sitting there, and probably a Pekingese, because they're old lady dogs. I just googled old lady dog, and that was the first one that came up, so I figured that's what it should be.
I guess this will be a Blackwell tradition. It'll have to be a dog or a cat in every single game. All right.
As far as my artistic inspiration goes, I need a picture of a building. I'll just Google building.
What did we do before Google?
Yeah, I'm going to put a bunch of, like, little, I don't know, angel paraphernalia, and around the top of the room there's, like, some shell motif or something, you know. Old lady stuff.
Wow, that is really kitschy.
I know kitsch, my friend.
It's open! I'm back here in the kitchen!
Harriet?
Mrs. Sherman, if you don't mind. You from Seagram Realty?
Yes.
Have you got my money?
I wanted to ask you a few questions first.
You're welcome to ask me anything you'd like, after you give me the money. You got it?
I met Shelley Smith at just the right time. The role of Harriet was originally given to Ruth Weber, who did the voice of Nishanti and Rajshri in previous games. And she lives kind of far away, and she was really busy, stuff going on, wasn't able to come out here to do the lines, and admitted that to me. And I'm like, all right, fine, don't worry, I'll find somebody else. And so I had to go around finding somebody else. And then I saw a show that Abe was directing called The Magic of Mrs. Crowling. And I saw this woman, Shelley Smith, who played this middle-aged woman, just this crazy, very eccentric middle-aged woman, kind of a drug addict, go around smashing furniture. It was great. But after the show, there was an after party, and I started talking with her because I just loved her energy. And I just kind of on a whim said, could you do an old lady voice? And she's, yeah, sure, no problem, I can do that. So she gave me her card, I called her up, she came over, did the lines.
No.
I thought so. Just another scam artist. Get out of here! And don't come back without the dough you skinflints owe me!
Lauren, it's Jack. Lauren, I know you're there. I'm your brother, for God's sake, talk to me. Hello? Hello? Lauren, is that you? Sis?
Jesus.
Now why'd you go and do that?
Just back off, okay?
All right. This is me backing off.
Good. It's my rainy day jar. I put some money in here whenever I think of it. It's a trick I learned from my mother. There's around $60 in here now. The things I'll do for a case. There's nothing in the jar now. Lauren's rainy day fund, $0. Come on, let's get out of here.
Right behind you.
It's open!
Mrs. Sherman?
Hello again. You got my money this time?
I sure do.
It's about time. Give it here.
Here you go.
It's all here, sure enough. I'd say thanks if I hadn't had to fight tooth and nail to get it.
What teeth, you old bat?
Don't worry about it.
Oh, I won't. Now, you wanted to ask me something?
I mentioned earlier how I discovered Shelley Smith, as it were, the woman who's playing Harriet here. Shelley kept making me laugh. It was probably the longest recording session ever because I just could not stop laughing. This woman has so much energy, and she is actually the first actor in general, who I had to set the audio level lower than Abe's. Abe has a really strong voice, as you can tell just listening to him. Shelley's voice is even stronger, and I had to lower her levels to a degree lower than Abe, which is a feat in itself.
So tell me about yourself.
Me? What do you want to know?
Your name came up during an investigation I'm working on.
Investigation? Don't you work for Seagram Realty?
Not exactly.
Ah, you just use them as a way to get to me, huh?
Yes. Is that a problem?
Oh, not at all. Just don't expect your money back.
She's all heart.
What can you tell me about the construction site on 53rd Street?
You've been there? How's the old place looking?
It's a big hole in the ground.
Ha! Can only be an improvement. I used to live there. Then Seagram Realty bought it and tore it down. Going to build something new and fancy, no doubt.
Goodbye, Mrs. Sherman.
Don't mention it.
Oh boy, we've got company.
Can you see?
Pardon?
Can't you see?
See what, lady?
The whole of the world. Connections, patterns, pulsing with life everywhere.
Oh great, one of New York's finest crazies. Do something about this old bat, will ya?
Stephanie Cox Williams, the actress playing the Countess. I first met her through Abe Goldfarb, the guy playing Joey. She was stage managing for a show that Abe was directing. That's the funny thing about the acting scene in New York. Everyone does everything. If you meet an actor, more than likely they've done directing, or they've done lights, they've done stage direction, stage managing, and sure enough, Stephanie was an actress. And I chatted with her after the show. There was an after party, and she mentioned how she did the voice of an old lady for something, and I'm like, hey, I got a role for you. And lo and behold, she came over to the role, so she was awesome.
Do you want money? Because I don't have any. How about a cigarette?
Fool! Liar! Can't you see?
Useless.
Useless!
Wow.
I know.
Only in New York. I'm going in again. You know what to do.
Yeah, I'll wait here.
My home.
Hey, kid! Knock on the gate again.
My, I'm popular today. Oh, you again.
I'd like to ask you some questions.
Look, I've had enough. I'm not going to stand here and indulge in idle chit-chat. Who are you? You do? No, you're not.
One of who is...
I told you it's goodbye. My home.
Hey, kid!
My, I'm popular today. Oh,
You're not in a building, lady!
what are you talking about?
We're on the ground! We're outside!
You, sir, need glasses. Look at the door. It says D, clear as day.
Thanks for your time, lady.
Yes, well, good day. Where else can I go?
Oh, just dandy. Nope, I can't.
I want to talk to you, Joey.
Yeah, doll?
Alright, enough, let's finish.
Sounds...
That's it for now?
Yeah.
It's open!
Mrs. Sherman?
Hello again. You got more questions for me?
Yes, I do.
Well, hurry up and ask. I ain't getting any younger.
They kicked you out of your own home?
No big loss. The place was a dump. Plus, they wanted it so badly that they paid most of us a monthly stipend just to leave. Pretty generous, actually. I can almost forgive them for nearly robbing me.
So they paid you money to leave?
Yeah. Like I said, it was a pretty generous deal. Building was about to be condemned anyway, so everyone was grateful for the offer. Well, everyone except for Mavis Wilcox.
Can you tell me anything else about your old building?
Good riddance is what I say. I lived on the 3rd floor. Everyone on the street could see me. I like my new place much better.
Who is Mavis Wilcox?
A lunatic is what she was. She lived down the hall from me, so I know how crazy she was.
Why was she crazy?
She refused to leave is why. Seagram was offering her a fortune, but still she refused.
Why did Mavis refuse to leave?
She was a lunatic. I believe I already established this. A total shut-in. The prospect of leaving her little apartment terrified her. I'm old and feeble. If I could manage the move, she could have. Of course, it doesn't matter now.
Did they ever get Mavis to leave?
Oh, you could say that. Yes, you could definitely say that. She left all right. Left the entire world, in fact.
You mean she died?
Yes. Someone broke in and choked her to death. Right in the apartment she loved so much. I'd call it ironic if it weren't so tragic.
Did they ever find out who killed Mavis?
No. Some stray kid, most likely. Thought the building was empty and went in to steal whatever was left over. Didn't count on anyone being there. Bumped into Mavis, then had to kill her. Happens all the time.
How well did you know Mavis?
Like I said, I lived just down the hall from her, on the 3rd floor. I didn't know her well, but she did get some mail just before they smashed the place up. I took it, just in case a relative or something came looking. But it's been 6 months, and nothing.
Anything else you can tell me about Mavis?
Just that she lived on the 3rd floor with me. There's nothing else.
Do you still have Mavis's things?
Yes, I do. Such as they are. There wasn't much, just that envelope on the counter.
Could I look at it?
You knew Mavis?
Sort of, yes.
Well, you might as well take a look at them. Nobody else has come looking.
Thanks. Goodbye, Mrs. Sherman.
Don't mention it.
Hey, Joey.
What's the deal?
I really need to get a bigger place.
You think so? I find this place quite cozy.
So do I. That's the problem. I need a change in my life, Joey.
A change? The day-to-day grind of freeing tormented spirits getting too boring for you?
No, I'm thinking of changing the wallpaper. How does pink sound to you?
Pink? You're not a pink person.
It would brighten up the place.
No pink.
I am so tired. I just want to relax and smoke a cigarette.
Since when do you need an excuse to smoke a cigarette?
Good point. I guess we'd better get out there and finish this thing.
After you.
That's it for now.
Yeah, we'll talk more later. Hey, you got a minute?
Yeah, Joey?
So, are we gonna futz around here all night? We got stuff to do.
Yeah.
Alright, let's get on with it.
Yeah. It's a good bet that Mavis Wilcox is the ghost at the construction site, but I can't say for certain. There's not much in here, just a photograph and a letter.
That's her. That's the ghost at the construction site.
So our ghost's name is Mavis Wilcox.
I'd bet the farm on it. That's her. Definitely the lady at the site. That's her.
This kid doesn't look too happy to be with Mavis. He's wearing a Columbia University sweatshirt.
That's her.
He's wearing a Columbia University sweatshirt. Yep, there's a listing for the New Yorker. Their main office is in Midtown. There's no entry for that. He's wearing a Columbia University sweatshirt. Columbia University. Here's the number.
Thank you for calling the New Yorker. How can I help you?
Hello, yes. I'm trying to reach a reporter named Mitchell.
Let's see now. Mitchell. We have a Joseph Mitchell on staff. Is that him?
I guess it's worth a try. Is he in?
Yes, he is. Hold, please.
Voice of the New Yorker receptionist. His name is Brandon Van Slyke. He's a close friend of mine here in the city. It's an old joke of voiceovers in games, how you give the voice roles to friends and family, and I was guilty of that here. I figured I wasn't going to waste a little role like this on a professional actor, so Brandon was over one day, and I said, hey, you want to do this? And he said, sure. So he sat down and did it. So that was Brandon.
He's not answering. Maybe I should go up there in person.
Operator speaking. How may I direct your call?
I doubt the ghost goes to Columbia University. Thanks anyway. Bye. Come on, let's get out of here.
Right behind you.
Now, Mitchell's office is pretty simple. I really dig the chairs in this office.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, they look soft. I'm happy with that.
They look shiny.
Mm-hmm.
I love the shininess of these chairs.
Yeah.
They feel like they sound like they'll squeak when you sit on them.
Maybe you should get a sound effect for that. Mitchell's chair is actually really fancy at the back, but he's sitting in it, so of course you can't see, and I'm not drawing him getting up, so I guess it'll remain a mystery to our viewers.
Ah, yes. Oh, well.
Oh, I forgot.
Well, that's what this commentary is for, isn't it?
Yeah. I was going to have it maybe so that he could, open the blinds, because the view at the window is pretty cool, but oh well. It's implied.
C'est la vie.
C'est la vie, yeah. I like the way those newspaper clippings on the left turn out. I wasn't sure how to do that, so it's hard to do detailed things in pixels, especially when they're so tiny, so it's been part of the process.
Well, let's do the whole thing over in high res.
Yeah, let's do that.
No, we
Oh,
won't.
we'll renegotiate my contract, shall we?
Oh, yes, let's do that. Yes? Can I help you?
Are you Mr. Mitchell?
I sure am.
I'm Lauren Blackwell.
Well, do come in, Miss Blackwell. For those of you who are fans of Gabriel Knight, if you played the second one, you'll know that the mystery of the game surrounds the last king of Bavaria, Ludwig. And when I first heard about Joseph Mitchell, I thought to myself, I found my Ludwig. I found this really bizarre, real-life story that I could build a conspiracy on and build a mystery on. Joseph Mitchell was such an interesting guy. He wrote these character pieces on just everyday people he met in bars, people he met on the street, drug users, drunks, eccentrics, homeless, mentally unstable people. He wrote these character pieces for 30 years for The New Yorker and for other publications, but he worked for The New Yorker for 30 years, and then he wrote one final thing called Joe Gould's Secret. It's a book you can buy, and then he never wrote again. For 30 more years, he came to work every day, went to his office, and never wrote again. And when I heard about this, I was fascinated. I just kept thinking about why on earth he would have done this. So this is my take on what happened.
I was hoping that you could help me.
Well, I'll do what I can. What is this regarding? Are you a reporter, or...?
Yes, I am a reporter.
From which publication?
Say you freelance.
I'm a freelancer.
I see. So what can I do for you, Miss Blackwell?
I've given myself roles in my previous games. In Shiva, I played the Cantor, and in Blackwell Legacy, I played the Evil Demon, which was a lot of fun, but this is probably the largest role I've ever given myself. And I gave it to myself not purely for egotistical reasons, although there is a bit of that, because I really respect and really like Mitchell and his writing and stuff. But because I really respect him, I wanted to make sure that I was faithful to him, and the words that I put into his mouth were words that he would probably say, or things that he would probably do, and so on. And the problem with voice acting is that everything is set in stone once you get the actor in. And with Mitchell, I wanted to keep it flexible. I wanted to be able to change stuff at the 11th hour. If I suddenly realized, hey, wait a minute, Mitchell wouldn't say this, or this sounds better, or, this is more Mitchell-like, that I could just pop on the microphone and change it myself quickly, rather than having to lug an actor back, which is always a pain in the neck to do. So that's why I gave myself the role of Mitchell.
So how long have you been working here?
Do you always ask such personal questions?
I'm just curious about the sort of work you do.
I write about people, Miss Blackwell.
What sort of people?
Not the famous sort. Just ordinary people, like you or me.
Ordinary people. Like me.
You find that amusing?
Oh, not at all. Did you know Mavis Wilcox?
Miss Wilcox? Yes, I remember her. Lived uptown a ways before she died.
How did you know her?
I wanted to write a piece about her, so I met her for a spell. Interesting woman. How did you know her?
I'm looking into her death.
I see.
So what can you tell me about Mavis? I get the impression she didn't get out much.
That's an understatement. I got in touch with her through a colleague who was covering that demolition. I wondered what made a woman like that tick, so I made an appointment to meet with her.
What was she like?
A very gracious woman. Brought me in, made me a cup of tea, showed me pictures of her family. All in all, it was a pleasant way to spend an afternoon.
What happened to her?
Killed, so they say. Was found choked to death in her own apartment.
Any thoughts on who did it?
Well, there were rumors that the labor union decided to take matters into their own hands, as it were, but I doubt that. The police ruled it was some squatter or drifter or something, and left it at that.
And what do you think?
Me? I have no theory.
Why did you want to write about her?
I found her fascinating. She was asked to leave. She was begged to leave. She was even offered lots of money to leave. But she kept refusing. She was too scared. I had to know why.
And what did you discover?
That, Miss Blackwell, is the eternal question. I've spoken to hundreds of people over the years. Most of them were odder than Mavis. It's impossible to decipher the whys and the hows. As time went on, I've contented myself just with the whats.
Anything else you can tell me about Mavis?
I'm afraid I've told you everything.
Anything else you can tell me about Mavis?
I'm afraid I've told you everything.
So tell me about yourself, Mr. Mitchell.
I beg your pardon?
Tell me about yourself.
Yes, I heard you. I hope you didn't come here simply to interview me. I'm afraid I'd make a poor interview subject.
I'd like to read your piece about Mavis.
I'm afraid I no longer have it.
Do you know what issue it was in? I'd like to look it up.
I never published it. I was going to, but then Mavis died, and it just seemed wrong somehow. I don't even have the rough copies anymore. I'm sorry.
I think that's all for now.
All right. You have a good night now.